Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to Elle, the Modern Priestess. So lovely to have you here on this Samhain period that we're in. This beautiful night of where the veil thins and we can connect with either passed on loved ones or the elementals, the Fey realm, the goddesses. And today I felt called to do a reading because I feel very strongly that we're in this gorgeous season of the witch at the moment. For me, the sort of Scorpio November season in particular, the lead up to Samhain and generally the lead up all the way through to Yule, for me is very much a time of connecting with the underworld goddesses or the witch goddesses, so to speak, the goddesses who deal with things that are typically perhaps taboo, things related to death and rebirth, transformation, a lot of sort of scorpionic type themes, Scorpio themes. Goddesses such as Hecate, who was goddess of the crossroads, who helps travelers who are reaching unknown points in their lives to determine their direction. She helps them also descend into the underworld and perhaps go into the shadow self or the intuitive self or a part of themselves that they don't want to see, and discern and pull out insights to help them continue on their journey. We've also got goddesses here, Morana and the Morrigan, Celtic goddess, and I believe like a Baltic and Russian goddess. I'll go into the details in each pile, but for me, this sort of period is really potent for seeing what medicine these particular goddesses of the underworlds or of these perhaps deeper, transformative, really cathartic is what I'm hearing, experiences, getting to using their support to help us release anything that we're holding on to that we no longer need to move forward on our journey. So it's a really magical time. It's a really potent time. I think that sometimes in popular culture, this sort of Samhain or Halloween, because of a lot of the conditioning from the church, tried to a certain extent create this aura of fear around this time, hence all the scary witch kind of culture, or like scary witch dress up, or and that has its place and it's fun and whatever, but also these witch goddesses or this sort of witch time is actually in reality a very potent and magical time and a very powerful time. And these particular goddesses that might have been feared through patriarchal times are actually goddesses who, if we're willing to face our sort of shadow self, so to speak, or face these perhaps difficult or challenging or taboo parts of ourselves or parts of our lives, they can offer us so much support and insight and magic and the ability to transform. And without, it's kind of that whole thing of, I'm seeing the analogy of plants in terms of, in order for them to be able to come through the surface and fully grow, often there's another layer of like mulch or mud or something that needs to be put on top of them again to give them that like extra bit of strength to kind of grow through that difficulty and that challenge, so that they can be a more beautiful flower. So it's a really beautiful analogy, but obviously when we're facing that, when we're feeling like we're being sort of kept down, we're in this sort of dark night of the soul, so to speak, we're in this underworld period, we feel lost, we feel alone, we feel abandoned, we feel betrayed maybe, we feel wounded or traumatized, and these are very difficult emotions to process. And these witch goddesses, Hecate in particular, but there's many goddesses, and there's certainly others. These just happen to be the three that I've pulled today, so hopefully you'll find a pile that will resonate for you. And if you're drawn to more than one, then obviously feel free to listen to more than one, and also continue your own work if you do deity work, or you have particular connections with goddesses, such as Persephone is another one, Elle is another one. She's a goddess of ending cycles. So there's many goddesses that are very potent and certainly very available to us at this time. Through this sort of thinning of the worlds, we don't necessarily have to fear perhaps like dark entities, or or there's negative spirits, or there was a lot done by the church and so forth to kind of create a aura of fear a little bit around this time. The sort of spirits who haven't passed over and they're stuck in purgatory, and this and that and the other. And actually, the original intention behind Samhain and a lot of the intention and the magic behind these witch goddesses is in fact just really about helping us traverse those that ability to connect with our soul, the ability to connect with the underworld, with the souls that have passed on, not because they're in purgatory or in any kind of cycle of because that's all related to kind of sin and everything, and we want to do away with that. So it's really about honoring what came before us, honoring the souls that were here before us, honoring our ancestors and the things that they went through, like the cycles they might have gone through that we've now inherited, looking at things that we can perhaps let go of in this sort of witchy season that I spoke of. We have these two major eclipses. So we had the Scorpio solar eclipse on the 25th of October, when Scorpio season started as well. And we have the lunar eclipse on the 8th of November in Taurus. So there's two major eclipses this year, which are very significant. And eclipses are all about where things are hidden, releasing them and calling in what we do want to call into our lives, letting go of illusions, letting go of anything that hasn't been serving us, letting go of, even things from past lives that we've brought in with us, certain fears, certain traumas maybe that are in our cellular body that we're bringing into our current life. Things from family as well, traumas or inherited wounds and things like that. There's a lot of potency around this time to consciously connect with those parts and release them and let them go in a really powerful way. If you're willing to kind of open to that. So without further ado, I will introduce the piles now. So we have pile number 1 is the beautiful goddess Hecate, who I have done a lot of work with and is absolutely incredible. For those of you that have been on this channel for a while, you will see, I think from some of my earlier videos, I had a beautiful wall hanging of Hecate. So she is very, very, very powerful goddess, very potent. When you call on her, or rather when she calls on you, you will know about it, because she is very much a goddess who will come to you, especially when you are at a crossroads, my lovelies. So, if you're very much stuck in a path at the moment where you're like, I really just don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do in this situation. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I choose this path or that path? I'm really stuck. She's a wonderful goddess to work with when you're at crossroads. So if you are drawn to Hecate or this card, or also I have the amethyst crystal here, which has got a little bit of little flecks of clear quartz in it as well. So beautiful amethyst, or the beautiful Hecate card, which is number 33. That might be a significant number for some of you. You will be pile number 1. If you are drawn to the beautiful Morana, goddess of death, or the black moonstone crystal, you will be pile number 2. And if you are drawn to the Morrigan, sovereignty, I just said that in a bit of an accent. I don't know why that happened. The Morrigan, that just came through. yeah, card number 21. There's a beautiful raven on the card. Some of you might be connected with ravens. That might be a spirit totem animal for you. And we have the lapis lazuli, which is a crystal that's connected with sovereignty as well. Little pendant there. So just take a moment to tune into the cards. If you're drawn to more than one pile, trust that. It means that there might be messages from across the piles that you need to draw on and coalesce together to create your reading. So just take a moment to ground yourself, connect with your intuition, see which crystal or which image is, or which goddess is indeed drawing you in. And thank you for being here, and I will see you in your pile. Hi there, pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here. So lovely to read for you today in this witchy time. So if you chose the amethyst crystal and the Hecate card, this will be your reading. Now I do have the Everyday Witch Tarot, which we will pull some witchy cards for you at the end of the reading, but I'm going to start with the oracle cards that I have pre-pulled, so hopefully I can fit all of them in the screen. So start with that one. So this is from the Soul Cards deck. So with this particular deck, it's very interesting because there's no guidebook with it. It's all about messages from your soul. I'm going to put this up here. Messages from your soul, and it will be very different for each of you because it will be how you interpret that card yourself. So we've also got the card number 53, Magician and the Mirror. Okay, and that actually came out in reverse, that one. Okay, and we've got the Lesotho card, which is Forgive. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think that's right. I think it's a silent T. And the 4th chakra card, card number 38, Archangel Raphael. And we've got Hathor's Soul Family as well. Hopefully, maybe a crystal over there. We can move these up a little bit so you can see them. There we go. Okay, so beautiful pile number 1s. Now, my feeling with you, pile 1, is that with this card here, which I feel like is some kind of masculine presence in your life, who, to be honest, has a little bit of a dark energy. And I don't mean to say that in a way that is meant to frighten anyone or say that, you know, oh, this person's really dark, like what's wrong with them? I feel like something's happened to them in their life, perhaps some kind of trauma or something that has kind of, it's like it's dyed them. It's like you can see there's some white, some light parts of them, but it's like something has come in and kind of like almost tainted their true being, their true soul essence or something, and kind of created this like dark dye. And it's making them quite almost like shrouded. You can see they've got, I feel like they're quite guarded. They've got like an arm up kind of covering over their head. And they look quite unhappy. Their facial expression is quite, it's like it's turned away. And I feel like this is perhaps an energy that's in your life of someone. Now, it doesn't have to be a man. It could just be someone with this energy. So this could be certainly a woman or however the person identifies. But they have this energy in them, this masculine energy that is quite kind of shrouded, and I feel like also with the 4th chakra here, Archangel Raphael, this is very much to do with the 4th chakra is the heart chakra. So this is something to do with a love relationship or a love connection that you've maybe been in that has been quite difficult. And with the Magician in the Mirror, with it coming out in reverse, it's a lot to do with like releasing that and releasing something that isn't working, releasing a path or a person or something that just, it's like it's not aligned. It's not something that, the sort of message I'm getting, it's like it's not a clear reflection for who you really are. It's not an accurate, with the mirror there, Magician in the Mirror. The mirror talks about that whole concept of, reflecting back to you your own magic or your own true self. And I feel like this masculine, perhaps because of his wounds or something in his life that has created this sort of darkness in him, means that he's not really going to be, or this person's not really going to be an accurate mirror for you in a relationship. They're not going to be able to mirror back to you your true value or your true self. And there's a need to kind of walk away from this. Now, this could be an old wound. This could be, something that happened quite a while back that you're still carrying it with you. And because with the forgiveness card here, I feel like there's a need to forgive something that's happened. So this could be something that happened actually in the past, but the energy is somehow still with you, or you haven't maybe you've certainly been on a process of forgiveness, because obviously these things are cyclical. But you can really call on Goddess Hecate. Sorry, I should have put her in the image there. I'll stand her against my teacup. You can really call on Goddess Hecate to help you move on from this crossroads. It's like you're sort of still at a crossroads. It's almost like you're still waiting for this person maybe to heal and come to you, or you're waiting for them to apologize maybe, or you're waiting to be able to find forgiveness or something, or maybe you're waiting for them to be able to, like if you're still in an entanglement with them or in a connection with them, you're waiting for them to come out of hiding, almost like out of this. It's almost like a sort of avoidant attachment energy I'm getting, because they're kind of just, this darkness is like all over the sort of the front side of their body. They're like, no, like kind of they've got an elbow up in like defense, and their face is turning away. So there's a need to kind of release, with the Magician in the mirror being in reverse, release that. Let go, ask Hecate for help during this time. Maybe do a little ritual. You can see in this magic card, this woman's drawn she's got a circle, and you don't have to practice, any kind of specific witchy thing or Wiccan thing. You can just create some kind of very simple ritual for yourself, whereby you just, you sit on the floor, you ground yourself. You could put some crystals around you, some plants around you. You could sit on a rug, just put some cushions around you, just something to kind of contain the space, to hold space for yourself. You could even ask a friend or a close person or someone who's good at holding space to kind of help create a container for you. And, write down what it is that you want to release about this situation or this connection, this person. And it could be quite an illuminating exercise for you, because I feel like it'll kind of flush out your heart chakra. It will really help you heal. And again, you can call on Archangel Raphael, and even there's lots of amazing music on YouTube. If you look up Archangel music, it'll help you heal your heart chakra, because I do feel like pile number one, if you've attracted this connection in, and again, this is no judgment, we've all been there. We have all been there, right? It's just merely something that's happened along your journey. Relationships are always mirrors. They're always going to show you where you're at in yourself. And, you might be coming to a turning point, to a crossroads at the moment, where you're going, actually, do you know what? I think I actually deserve better. This person's just not really giving me what I need. They're not really coming forward with their energy. They're very closed off. Their energy is very cold or just shrouded. And that's because of their childhood wounds, and you staying in the situation is going to put you at risk of being further wounded yourself, which you don't deserve. I feel like pile one, you have with Hathor and Soul Family here, you have soulmates or a soulmate waiting for you, your soul family. And look at the difference in the energy between this card and this card. How sort of open-hearted this card is, and how kind of slightly sad and just shrouded this card is, and I feel like there is really, this crossroads has kind of come up for you to sort of, it's like I'm hearing to choose yourself. And in doing that and freeing yourself from this and forgiving and releasing this situation, whether it was a long time ago in the past or quite recently, or you're going through it now, it'll be different for all of you. Healing your heart chakra, doing that really conscious heart chakra healing work, like very, very consciously healing your heart from this situation, whatever this was, will allow you to meet your soulmate and your soul family, your true soul family, because I don't feel like, or if this person is your true soul family, they will, in separating from them and knowing your worth and knowing your value and walking away and forgiving and releasing completely and releasing attachment, will mean that like once they are healed, they will be able to come back to you. But they're not in a place to be able to offer you that now. And this was really a sort of an exercise in allowing you to see your true value and wake up to your true value and your true soul and be able to move forward on your path. It's like I'm seeing you're at this crossroads so that you can move forward without them at this time, so that you can be united with your true soul family. Hecate really wants to help you kind of move towards your true soulmate, your true soul family. You know, for some of you, this might not be, obviously, my feeling is that this is mostly a romantic connection, but for some of you, this might not be. This could actually just be family or someone shrouded in your life that is you wanted an emotional connection with, maybe as a friendship. It could be a father figure even, you know, something like that, someone that you've been trying to find a connection with. And they're just so avoidant, and you haven't been able to get the love that you've wanted and that you deserve. And there's a need to kind of forgive that person because they were wounded in their childhood. You know, I spoke about that in the introduction to the video. If you were listening in at that point, this season, this sort of time of the eclipse season, the Scorpio season, you know, there's a lot around things coming up to be released and healed, and old childhood wounds coming up to be released and healed. And also for those of us who are meant to kind of step into like your again, finding your true soul family and your soul work and your soul path. It's like for some of you, you've been incarnated into families where there is a lot of density and a lot of wounds and a lot of perhaps toxicity and trauma. And that's been a necessary part of your soul journey to be incarnated in that environment and see how those dynamics play out. You've inherited it in a childhood setting. You've gone out into the world and then basically chemically attracted the same sorts of dynamics again and again because our psyche seeks out familiarity. And it's like with the Magician in reverse, it's like, no, you're not meant to be just unconsciously getting these same kinds of dense relationships that you had in childhood. You're meant to flip the script, flip it around. You're meant to be this magician. You're meant to be able to manifest what you actually want, not put up with a situation that isn't giving you what you truly deserve. You're meant to be this beautiful Hathor. You can see she's in this beautiful feminine energy, this receiving energy. You're meant to receive your soul family and your soul mates. Like I said, regardless of whether that's a new soul parent coming in for you, someone who's, gives you that sort of nurturing and comfort that your parent wasn't able to give you in your childhood. Or if it's a partner, you've been trying to make something work with someone that just isn't able to give you what you need. And it's time to release that, forgive it, create this magician energy within yourself. Know that you have the power to manifest the relationships that you want. Do a little bit of heart chakra healing to release any pain from this connection, and you will attract your soulmate if that's what it is that you most wanting deep down, which I feel like for many of you, that is what you're craving and calling for. And it absolutely is available. There is this like, it's like a new dawn. You can see the energy. It's like a sunrise. You know, it's beautiful sort of orangey colors. So really gorgeous energy. I'm going to move on to the tarot portion for you now. I have actually shuffled these, but I'm going to do a quick shuffle. Just see what else might come through. Okay, what might come through for pile number 1? Do you have any more messages for pile 1, Holy Spirit? Temperance, yeah, balance. There we go. I'm going to get a few cards and read them in a sequence. Let's see, card number 14, which is 5. That adds up to 5 in numerology, which is change. So something needs to change for you to find this stability, this sort of inner stability and inner balance within. Maybe practices like yoga could be really useful, doing some kind of exercise, finding your own equilibrium again, finding your own balance. What else is coming through for pile 1? High Priestess, yeah. Really beautiful. Learning to trust your intuition and your divine, your like higher self, your goddess self, your... And interesting, the fridge, I'm filming this in the kitchen today because I felt like filming around a round table. And the fridge just switched on, which I feel like, boom, this High Priestess energy, and as a result of releasing this situation and going through healing it, is going to switch this priestess part of you on, this intuitive, really connected with your higher self. You can see in both these pictures she's wearing like, you know, this witch's hat, and she's very like, it's very sort of centered. Your energy is very centered in these two pictures. It's very, very grounded in this picture. It's like there's this flow of energy from earth to above. And I'm getting the vibe of like, as above, so below. As within, so without, which is the magician in the upright. When you're in the magician in the upright energy, you're able to manifest what you want. You can find that equilibrium, the grounding, so that you're connected with the earth, as well as being able to connect with the cosmos here with the High Priestess. So there's a need to sort of balance your energies a little bit, like be able to sort of exist in the world and of the world, and be grounded and on the earth, as well as being able to like connect with the divine and with your soul family. It might be that you get messages like from your soulmate or twin flame if you subscribe to that type of journey. Don't worry if it doesn't resonate for you. Or your soul family, if you're looking for soul family, you'll get messages through. It's like they're trying to come through for you. And in fact, during this time, this Samhain time, this sort of witchy time, Scorpio time, this is a really potent time to connect in with them. You can call on them. You can ask for your soul family to come through and get messages from them, and see if, you might start getting some insights into, where you might be able to actually meet them on the physical, because this soulmate or this soul family is on earth as well, and they're ready to connect with you. 6 of Pentacles, wow, beautiful energy. This is really, and it's interesting, I feel like this energy is really similar to this 4th chakra card, in that she's wearing this beautiful green dress, which again is connected with the heart chakra, and she's got pentacles kind of all over the top of her dress, and it looks a little bit like here that Archangel Raphael's got almost a bit like a pentacle in the middle of his chest here. So there's like a sort of a healing that's going to happen with your heart chakra, that's going to get you to a point where your love just flows out. Now, I know this is to do with pentacles, which traditionally obviously is to do with stability and security and money and finances and work and things like that. But intuitively, the way I'm reading this in the context of your reading is I feel like this is a lot to do with like you getting to a stable point within yourself where you're grounded, but your heart is so healed that you're able to like give your love to others. You're not so guarded anymore, which in fact, this is interesting because of, as another little strand that I'm getting, for some of you, this could be you. This could be you in relationship, and this could be a pattern that you've inherited from childhood, the people that have, you know, your caregivers, and you've ended up sort of shrouding yourself in this way from love. And so there's a need to forgive your caregivers, forgive yourself, heal your heart chakra, ground, find your equilibrium, connect with your intuition, and then you'll come to this point where your heart will just open, and you will be in a place where you will be able to give to others from a full cup. And that's when if I can pick it up, that's when your soul family will come in. So yeah, really beautiful energy. What's on the back of the deck? Beautiful. Yeah, Page of Cups on the back of the deck. So really sort of happiness for your own sake, finding your own, this person's just happy creating, and they're finding emotional fulfillment within themselves, and they're out in nature, they're grounded, they're enjoying life, they've got that sort of childhood innocence and enthusiasm back. It's really lovely, sort of colorful energy. So it's yummy. I love to see that. That is gorgeous. Okay, my lovely pile ones, I'm going to leave your reading there. I hope that resonated for you. Please leave a comment in the box below if it did. I am available for private readings at the moment. I have a few sessions left this month. So if you click on there's a Linktree link, I believe, and you can book directly through that. And I record the reading and send it to you. If you need any support with the heart healing, I also do holistic healing work, chakra healing work, and work with the goddesses to help connect you with your own divine feminine energy within, which it's just really facilitating you. Your own healing ability and power is already within you, and I just create a safe space and hold space for that innate healing to come through. So if that's something you would like, then certainly check out the Linktree, and you can book that. You can contact me and we can set up a session for that, and that would be a live session. But otherwise, if I'm leaving you here, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload further readings. I will have some more messages from the goddesses coming out in coming months. And all the best with your journey. All my love. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 2. If you chose the beautiful goddess Morana or the black moonstone crystal, then this will be your reading. So I'm going to pop Morana up here so we can fit all your cards in. You've got a lot of cards, pile 2, so I might have to rearrange. I'm going to go into the tarot. We've got the Herbcrafters Tarot, which I'll go into at the end of your the oracle card reading. So we're going to start with these. So we have got past life healing with Hecate. We've got this beautiful soul card here. Move these up a little bit. We've got Kuan Yin, kindness and nurturing. I love that card. It's so beautiful. We have got Yin Yang, card number 22 from the Energy Oracle deck. Now this one actually came out in reverse, so I'm going to put it that way. Okay. We got this one also from the Soul deck. To move these over a little bit. Blossoming Abundance, card number 3. And also Victory, card number 28. Beautiful. Over for now. Okay, so pile number 2. My feeling is with something that you're working through at the moment is, I feel like many of you are very, very spiritually evolved. You're very old souls. You might have been told this many times. You may be quite already someone who knows about your past lives. You've had maybe past life regression, or you have had some kind of downloads or consciousness. Maybe you're someone who's even just listened to past life readings or something along those lines, but you're very aware that you've had past lives, maybe even just subtly, you know, maybe even you've gone to a certain country. Like for me, when I went to France the first time, when I was about 17, I put foot on the soil, and I'd never been before in my life. I came all the way from New Zealand, and I was just like, this is home. And it took a long time after that, until I was in my 30s and I'd done a lot of spiritual things, to realize I had actually had a past life in France. But at the time I didn't know that. I just felt home in this country I'd never been to and always sort of had an affinity for. So it could even just be that subtle, that there's just this awareness that like, oh yeah, there's like certain places or certain people that when I've met them, or a certain country when I've been there, it's like, this is really familiar somehow, but that's weird because I've never been here before. So like, why does it feel completely familiar? Like as if I live here, or something like that, that kind of feeling that you've gone through things before. Or a lot of people might say you're a really wise soul or something like that. Like you're the sort of person that all your friends always turn to you because you're the one who's just super wise, and you always know what to say somehow in every situation, as if you've like lived through all these things yourself. You're very empathic. But for others of you, it will be sort of more advanced in the sense that you've done work to try and like actually heal some past life wounds. And I feel like that's the point that many of you are getting to, particularly this season. I mean, this is a timeless reading, so you can certainly draw on this energy whenever you are called to watch this video. So don't worry if it's not still in, you know, eclipse season or Scorpio season or whatever. Just trust that when Hecate comes to you, she will come knocking on your door when you're ready. Like, or you might not really think that you're ready, but she will make you ready, essentially. She looks a little bit scary in this picture, she's sort of depicted as a crone here, but she's really goddess of like, she's the triple goddess. She's maiden, mother, crone, so she can exist in all her aspects. So maybe for some of you, the reason she's showing up as a crone here is because in fact, a lot of you, even if you're not necessarily older, you may have that crone energy already. It's like you're just such an old soul and so wise that you already present as this crone energy. But there's something around some kind of past life healing. And my feeling is I'm getting two vibes. One is like, I'm hearing like sacred prostitute, like in one of your past lives you were, because you can sort of see a faint, almost like a female body, the curve of a female body here. I'm getting almost like Mary Magdalene vibes, like how that kind of Magdalene energy was very distorted by patriarchy, by the church, to kind of create the sort of the mother versus whore schism. And actually it's like a sacred part of us as women, or a sacred part of the feminine being is sacred sensuality and sacred sexuality. But there was a split. So either part of your past life is like you were maybe, excuse me, just sneeze. So yeah, there's something to release around, there's a releasing around like something where your sexuality or your sexual power was distorted or used in a way that wasn't sacred. Or you were, the other vibe I'm getting from this card, and also with Kuan Yin, is that you were like a nun or something like that in a past life, or you were someone who was so kind and so caring and so sort of holy. She's got this like aura around her, this like a halo around her. So you were really in that like almost more like Mother Mary energy. And Kuan Yin is often seen as this like mother nurturing goddess. So for some of you, it's more that side of things, and almost healing like a pattern of overgiving. So that might show up in your life now, even as being taken advantage of by others. You know, people taking advantage of your kindness, of your caring nature, you burning yourself out because you're getting a sense of completion and wholeness from giving to others, but giving to a point of like kind of depletion. It's like it's something to do with that yin yang card coming out in reverse. It's like your yin energy has been overused, and so it's ended up you're sort of depleted, because it's like you haven't somehow, like, your own internal masculine energy hasn't protected that yin energy. So the yin energy is all you've been operating from, and you've given and given and given to the point of getting depleted. And now this could be in either way. It could be in a sort of sexual way or a sensual way. Like, in this card, the aura around her is very orange, and the vibe I got as soon as I pulled this soul card was sacral chakra, and a need to do some kind of sacral chakra healing, because there's like if you're over giving from your sacral chakra, you're like giving a lot of your own power, a lot of your creative power, a lot of your sort of creative juice, a lot of your feminine, sensual, and like some of your own kind of like independent power. It's like you're leaking it somehow. It's being taken from you. Now, this could be something that it's like a pattern that you've brought into this lifetime, because it's something that you were very much trained to do in a past life. So you were maybe some kind of, like sacred, like almost like a temple. I mean, this is going way back. So this might just resonate for like one person, but like you were like a temple priestess. And of course, when the patriarchy took over the temples, that were originally serving the goddess, and when they took them over and switched over to a like a masculine, the masculine religion, which worshipped a male god instead of the female goddesses, and they started the process of denigrating the female goddesses, and all the women who worked in the temples and the ones that had this relationship of sacred sensuality and sexuality, and they used those things for healing, they got turned into sex workers, into prostitutes. The word prostitute actually comes from the word priestess. So a lot of that was the origin of it. So the priestesses in these temples to the goddesses, when suddenly the temples weren't allowed to be used to worship goddesses anymore, and they got taken over, and what basically women didn't, unless they went and got married or something, they didn't have, under the patriarchal rule, they had no right to support themselves in any way. They couldn't own land, they couldn't make money, none of that. So their bodies were taken over by men. They were only allowed to stay in the temple and work as prostitutes, as sex workers. And so I feel like there's some kind of past life healing happening for some of you. Now, like I said, it'll be slightly different. For some of you, it's more of an over mothering and over nurturing and kind of giving in that sense. And for others of you, it's a sacred sensuality, something around your sacral chakra. And you'll know what it is. You'll probably feel it from this card. Depending on what you saw when I first held it up, do you see more of a Mother Mary with a kind of, with a, like a halo, and that kind of the sort of the virginal Mother Mary who gives, who sort of sacrifices and gives and gives and gives to, her children or her family or her son or whatever? Or do you see a sort of more Mary Magdalene, like that? Are you more drawn to the orangey color? And did you notice this body here, this sort of like sensual figure, this feminine figure rising in front, in which case it might be more of a healing around your sacral chakra. So there's different ways you can do that past life healing. There's different videos on YouTube and things like that around you can heal those chakras. Chakras are energy centers in the body. They contain all the energy of anything we've absorbed in this lifetime, and also energy we've carried through with us in past lifetimes. And this particular lifetime at the moment for many of us is a time to heal a lot of these past life wounds. Now, I feel like moving into the bottom row, you are going, with this yin yang being in reverse, you are going into a period of being more yang. So your inner masculine, your yang energy, is like it's coming forth and coming up and around to kind of protect your yin energy so that there's balance. Because when this comes out in reverse, it's like your yin yang is not balanced. You've been over giving from your sort of feminine chakras, from your sacral chakra, from your heart chakra, and your other chakras, the more sort of quote unquote masculine chakras, the more yang chakras perhaps, like your solar plexus, your root chakra, that sort of stability, the kind of confidence, the self, that sort of strong expression. That's something that has been a little bit lacking maybe in your life. There's a need to find that balance and a need to kind of bring this yang energy forward. And I feel like with this soul card here, this is quite interesting because I feel like this is your masculine here. And it's interesting what I was saying about chakra healing, because he's holding a rainbow. And to me, rainbows are symbolic of two things. One is the different chakras, because the 7 colors of the 7 chakras are the 7 colors of the rainbow, red through indigo. And also rainbows symbolize, after a storm, right? Or after a rainstorm, you see a rainbow. So it's like the colors that you see, the beauty that you see after a difficult period. So some of you have been through a lot of difficulty in this lifetime because of these certain patterns that have been like within you, within your energy system, encoded within you from a past life. And you're coming into this state of your, it's like this figure behind that's holding the rainbow. It's like, to me, he's like a, what's the word? Benevolent masculine. There's like a benevolent masculine force that's coming forth to offer you that healing. His face is very yellow. It's very much the colors of this. Look at the similarity in the yellow. The yellow in his face and the yellow on this card, which is the yang. This is the yang side and this is the yin side. So this yellow, which is solar plexus, it's like definitely something around perhaps also healing your solar plexus so that you can shine your true authentic light out into the world, and you don't have to give from a place of either over caring or over offering sensual things, or trying to sort of get love through sex, for example, or trying to get your needs met through, not that I'm saying you're doing that, but it might be like an unconscious drive a little bit. And it's not to, again, this isn't to judge sex or say like sex is bad or anything. It's just if it's something that hasn't been fulfilling you, and it's something where you're finding you're sort of using that in a way to like create stability for yourself, maybe. So maybe some of you, it's like how the past life priestess / prostitute pattern can play out in current lives is that you can end up sacrificing your power and your true authentic role in your life by entering into relationships a lot and trying to get that stability and your needs met purely through a sexual or sensual, and sometimes a loving relationship, and hopefully a reciprocal loving relationship. But it's like there's a dependency or like an exchange kind of thing. And I feel like Goddess Hecate is here to kind of like help you evolve out of that pattern that might have been depleting you a bit, or the pattern of, like I said, over giving, over caring, which, those two can be wrapped up together. It could well be that there's a bit of both going on. It's very sort of priestess energy in terms of like giving of your body, giving of your energy, giving of your time, giving of your heart. And there needs to be a bit of a, like I'm hearing like a boundary. It's like there needs to be this inner masculine come forth and like balance that, so that there's the yin side is balanced with the yang side, and you're able to kind of be like the warrior for yourself. Like you're able to kind of like be the guardian for your yin energy, for this energy, so that you're very discerning about who you give it to. You're very discerning about your sexual and your sensual boundaries. You're aware when other people are trying to suck that from you, and in doing this you're able to get to a place of like this beautiful blossoming abundance that's going to come in for you once you've got that kind of yang energy back in your life. looking out for you and going forth and taking action on the things that you want to create, that are for you, that are going to bring you joy. This is going to blossom and create abundance for you, and you are going to be very victorious in that. So going back to the original card that you pulled, the Marana, goddess of death, her invocation, I'm just going to read, was what metaphorical death is currently taking place in my life, and how can I accept this ending with grace and gratitude for all it's teaching me? So it's all to do with like endings and death are a natural part of the cycle of life, and the death of a relationship, career, or even an old version of the self is not a failure, but the closing and successful completion of a season. And she's also very much associated with rebirth, like any of the death goddesses or witch goddesses, and also being Scorpio season, we're very much in a season of death, but rebirth after that death. Like this old way of being and operating in the world is, I feel like, something that you're healing and releasing, and it's dying away. You're needing to, you know, there's like a skull here, and it's like releasing that, so that this new, your inner masculine, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, and your benevolent masculine energy, this solar plexus energy, this confident energy is here to come forth. This yang energy is here to come forth. Protect your yin energy, so that you get more balance in your life, and then you're able to go forth and create the kind of abundance that you want. Now, of course, abundance is different for everyone. For some people that's money, for some people that's a house, for some people that's you know, having a lot of free time to enjoy nature. There's a lot of nature in this picture. You know, it's not someone with, you know, flying off on a private jet and having fancy cars or anything. It's just a really, really beautiful nature picture. So maybe some of you connecting with nature can help you connect with your inner abundance. But there's a lot of gold energy, a lot of solar plexus, yellow energy down this part of the reading. So there's that balancing effect that's going to happen. I'm going to pull a few cards from the Herbcrafters Tarot just to see if we can get any more messages. Okay. Spirit, can we have some more messages for part 2? Whoa, that one wants to come out. Okay. And actually, I'm being drawn to the Black Moonstone again. This might be a very useful crystal for you with this past life healing. Black Moonstone can be a lot to do with like releasing things that aren't working, especially if you use it around the time of like the full moon. It could be very potent for you. So Justice, card number 11, and it's got a picture of cannabis here. So for me, the Justice card is often to do with balance. And again, which is, you know, balancing yin yang, balancing your masculine feminine energies, balancing your inner world and your outer world. So, oops, sorry about this. I've just got an alarm that just went off. Okay, let's just see. This one, Ace of Air, which is like Ace of Swords, Yarrow. So, new beginning. What did I say about rebirth? New beginning coming in. And air is related to thoughts and beliefs and mental health and your mental processes. And with the ace being there, this is a new beginning in how you perceive yourself, how you think about things, how you go forth in life. Yeah, it's like, even if you've been, you can see this like this, well, hopefully you can see in the picture, this is like electric fence here, but the yarrow is like this wildflower that just grows and blossoms, blossoming abundance. It just grows and blossoms no matter what the boundaries are, you know, no matter what, you know, things have tried to hold it back, you know, no matter what past life wounds it had, it's still growing, it's still persisting. Any other messages? Oh, that one came flying out. Here of Fire, California Poppy, which is like Mother of Wands. I'm pretty sure, I'm going to check with that one. I haven't used this deck in a little while, so I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure this is Mother of Wands. And again, look at the yellowy goldy coloring. It's so much like these cards. It's just such similar goldy kind of energy. So definitely some kind of solar plexus healing could be very useful for you, to heal that ability to shine your own light, to step into, for me, the solar plexus is very much about personal power. You know, it's like your inner sun. And because all the chakras are linked, if you have had some kind of sacral chakra depletion or something, that can block the energy from moving up so that it can like shine out and give you that personal power to kind of shine your own light and step into your own power and step into your own truth. So yeah, and you've got, it's funny, there's like a little tiger, which again, or a little lion in the back, which I associate with the solar plexus chakra. So and I think she's holding what looks a little bit like a sunstone crystal. So sunstone could be a very useful crystal for you. That is a very good crystal to help heal the solar plexus. It mentions California poppy, but there's also kind of, it looks a bit like marigoldy kind of colors in this. So marigold could be a useful herb for you as well. And I'm just going to double check in the book because I feel like there was something, the book was kind of calling to me. Oh, I apologize. The Heas are actually the daughters. So this is the Princess of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, I guess. But the Heas are to do with play, wonder, innocence. So, oh, I apologize. Yeah, they correspond to pages, actually, not knight. Correspond to the pages in a traditional deck. But it's about approaching adventures with playfulness and wonder and like a inspiring confidence in your abilities. It's like starting to tap into your inner confidence, which we talked about confidence with the solar plexus. So the Here of Fire is create with the enthusiasm of a beginner and light up the landscape with golden joy. And there's so much gold. There's so much gold in this part of your spread. The Here of Fire jumps at the chance to be creative. She cannot wait to begin a new project. She approaches everything with the playfulness of a child. Knowing that the strong elixir of California poppy creates magic, she takes small but confident steps towards independence. Yeah, independence. That was a key thing. That was what I mentioned about the part of the wound of the kind of the priestess pattern, is to get into exchanges, and so you end up a little bit dependent because you're like exchanging, you know, and I'm not saying you're doing this, I'm just saying it might be playing out in a slightly different way. Like I can't really think of an example, but just you'll know if you're somewhere on that spectrum. And it might be, again, this might be something that has happened in the past, and it's something that many women have. We all have sort of this archetype within us to a certain extent or another, because it's also an archetype that the patriarchy has conditioned many of us to adopt, because it creates a dependency on men, because that is part of the system. So this need to become, the need to be independent or find your independence through your own power and your own creativity. It's a very like creative power, or creativity is sacral chakra, and power and personal power and independence is solar plexus chakra. So there's that link between the two. It's like if you can heal the sacral chakra and then heal the solar plexus chakra, you'll have that inner fire burning for yourself, for your own creative projects, for your own things, so you can shine that light and put them out in the world and be independent. So she may have watched an elder many times, but now she makes medicine for herself. Just as California poppy flowers light up dry, wild desert meadows with their brilliant color, she stays open to the light, sways with the wind, and radiates delight. Yeah, beautiful. Tapping into that like inner childhood joy again, I think will be very healing for you as well. So yeah, I feel like that's the end of your reading there, pile 2. I hope this resonated for some of you. Please leave a message below if it did. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to be notified of when I next upload a reading. I am offering private readings at the moment. You can click on the link in my link tree and you can book a private reading there, and I send the link for you to watch that in your own time. Otherwise, if I'm leaving you here, thank you so much for being here. All the best with the Scorpio witchy season. Enjoy it. Do some little rituals for yourself. All my love, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you chose the lapis lazuli little pendant or the Morrigan, I keep saying that, Morrigan, 21 card about sovereignty, this will be your pile. I've also got the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot here, which I'll pull some cards from in a moment, but we're going to start with your oracle cards. So we'll pop this one up here, and then let's see. So we've got the second chakra card number 36. Now this came out in reverse, I think. No, it was upright. We've got this beautiful card from the Soul Cards deck. We got Strategy, card number 21. We got Sacred Marriage, Mary Magdalene. Sorry, put it up a little bit longer. Okay. We got Bridget, You Are a Healer, or Bridget, however you say it. Bridget. And Oshun, Sweet Success as well. Okay, so whoopsie. Oh, okay. So the Morrigan wants me to start with a message. she's just come forward. So I'm going to read from the book. Now this is card number 21. So sovereignty. What was a time of seeming misfortune in my past that in hindsight led me to develop greater self-respect and personal sovereignty? So the message is, the Morrigan reminds you that life will never be without challenges. Hardships, boundaries, and death are inevitable, and while it may be difficult to see when you are in the moment, they all carry value. It is easy to believe in our personal power and autonomy when the world turns in our favor, not so when we face misfortune. The Morrigan asks you to stand firmly in your sovereignty, taking full dominion over your body, mind, heart, and soul. She wants you to develop willpower, grit, integrity, and self-respect, qualities that never come freely or easily and are only born from overcoming struggle and strife. Yeah, so I feel like, thank you, Morrigan. I feel like with you, pile number 3, there is a big message around you having healing abilities, because we've got there's essentially 3 cards related to healing. The first is this one, and I absolutely just love how aesthetically similar with the orange and the green, which to me is orange is linked with the sacral chakra and the green is linked with the heart chakra. And these 2 cards are so similar. They've also both got like cauldrons here, smoking cauldrons. You may not be able to see it very well in this card, but there is a little bit of steam coming out of that one. So I feel like this is sort of Bridget in a way coming to you saying, like, you are a healer, like essentially wake up to that sovereignty. Even though life might be tough, even though things might be really hard, even though you might be struggling with something at the moment, like, you're a healer. You are a healer. You have this ability. This is your power. Use it. And my goodness, this is quite a strong message. The other piles have not been like this. So this might be a little bit tough to hear, but there's some real power coming through for you, pile 3. Some really strong power. I feel like maybe with some of you, with the second chakra here and Mary Magdalene's sacred marriage, this is a lot to do with like healing your sacral chakra actually. So, and again, you have that ability yourself. You are a healer already. And the process that you use to heal yourself, I feel like it could be something you end up using and creating a strategy for to help heal others, and you'll be very successful with Ocean, sweet success. you have the ability to like alchemize a sort of a healing practice, or even like some of you might be medicine healers, you might be herbalists or herbal healers or something like that. And there's something around alchemizing something and learning how to alchemize sort of hard or difficult situations or something like that, and creating some kind of healing that will help people. But there's this need to, with your second chakra, Archangel Ariel, this is very linked. It's interesting these two cards came out because the Mary Magdalene Sacred Marriage card talks a lot about like healing your wounds of, I'm hearing betrayal, but anything from like past love, past relationships, the sacral chakra, any sexual or sensual healing. There may be, for some of you who you might have come here from pile 2, there might be some messages in pile 2 that might be helpful for you as well. But you're waking up and finding your inner flame, in that some of you might be sort of trying to enter into a relationship or wanting to attract like a twin flame or a soulmate or something like that, like a divine counterpart relationship. And this message is saying to find that within first, that it's necessary to kind of go through almost like the sacred marriage talks about a marriage of the inner masculine and inner feminine within first. It's that whole energy of as within, so without. Now, maybe that some of you with the second chakra healing and the Mary Magdalene talking about healing sort of it's like any kind of residue or pain or anything that's been accumulated in your sacral chakra from relationships that weren't sacred, or relationships that really took a toll on you in some way. There's a need to kind of really consciously work on healing that. And I feel like it's something you have been doing, many of you, and you are aware of this, and you're able to do it. And it may be that there could be some kind of herbs or some kind of like medicine that will help with that. Maybe some of you might have been going through some illness or something. But I don't feel that for you really. It could be that is something that you've struggled with in the past, but I feel like it's more to do with coming into sovereignty. This is more to do with coming into a period of self-sovereignty and personal power, but as a healer, essentially stepping into your healing power. I'm feeling called to read the message from the Bridget. Where are we? Brigitte. You are a healer. Trust the healing energy of the goddess. Cross the threshold. Yeah. So the Celtic goddess of the flame and the well has arrived to take you across the threshold. This is a reinitiation into your ancient healing powers from Mother Earth. This is where I was getting the boldness from. Bridget boldly declares, you are a healer. That's what I was saying before. You carry tools, remedies, and skills earned during previous incarnations. The healing energy of the goddess is embedded in your cells. If you need healing yourself, let Bridget's bright blessings light the way. Strengthen your belief in your own power to heal. What did I say about you actually already have your own power within you to heal whatever it is that's been going on, whether it's a relationship issues, sort of sexual, like some kind of betrayal from a sexual partner, some kind of energy healing that needs to be done from your sacral chakra, something like that. It's like you have that. You've got the power to be able to heal yourself. Or are you being called to facilitate healing for others? Remember, a healer's job isn't to rescue people from their problems. It's a humble role that helps someone call in their own highest vision of health and well-being. It's always the person who's receiving the healing who chooses how, when, and to what extent they're ready to heal. The powerful ancient healer inside you may be scared of coming forwards. You may be fearful of ridicule, criticism, or even punishment. Long ago, the deep knowledge you carry was stolen, discredited, and used against you. But it's safe now to light up the world with your healing gifts. You're here to facilitate deep healing for other beings and for Mother Earth. And additional meanings can be optimistic and proactive about healing yourself. You're stronger than you think. Use complementary or integrative therapies in combination with conventional medicine. An important spiritual gateway is opening, so cross the threshold with positive expectations. Spring clean your home to create space for new energy. And the last one might be a little bit unrealistic for most people, but if you're in Ireland, it says visit Bridget's Holy Wells in Ireland, for example, County Kildare. So I might have said that wrong, sorry. Invocation, healing energies flow through me from the goddess. It's safe to heal. So that could be a good invocation to really speak to for yourself at the moment. Pile 3 is, when we spoke of at the beginning, for those of you that were there for that part, with this creating this safe circle for yourself, and maybe doing some journaling work or some crystal work if you're into that, or some, even just creating, like, make a lovely herbal pot of tea and just sit with it and rest and like tune into your body, tune into yourself, just create a little ritual space, a little safe space, and you can really chant that invocation at the moment. Healing energies flow through me from the goddess. It is safe to heal. It is really safe to heal this stuff. And Mary Magdalene is wanting me to there might be something here I missed when I was speaking of her about, the Temple of Magdalene is a space for deep spiritual and sexual healing. Your soul has an ancient connection to this temple, and memories of the twin flame union are now being stirred. Your healing journey is about becoming whole. All your life you've been preparing to create a relationship that reflects that inner wholeness. It's not a partnership based on image-driven ideals of perfection, nor is it based on patching up each other's wounds. It's a conscious relationship in which both people take responsibility for their own lives and soul growth. And I think I mentioned something about this before. You can experience sacred marriage with another. You need to come home to your own inner twin flames. And this was the message she wanted me to say, is you're a powerful spiritual teacher with a mission to bring the Shekinah, which is the feminine force of divinity, to humanity. So there's definitely something around healing, but on a, like, perhaps specifically for women, or in a feminine way, or for the divine feminine, or for twin flames, or something kind of along those lines, or related to like sexual healing, or the sacral chakra healing, or womb healing. Maybe some of you are like midwives, or wanting to step into being a midwife. It's things related to those kind of themes is what I'm picking up on. Now, of course, if you're a healer in some other form, by all means, it's just, take which messages resonate and leave the rest. It's just, you are a healer, you have healing ability. The other thing I'm picking up on is some of you may be sort of kitchen witches, and that you can offer healing through food. So you may be like able to do like herbalist type food, like in terms of using herbs for healing and cooking, and like teas and remedies, and it's like that very hearth energy. It's sort of the hearth fire. In other ways, the sacral chakra energy or second chakra energy could be to do with just healing that creative fire and having that confidence to bring your creative, sort of tap into your creative energy, and bring those creations out into the light. And then with strategy and success, I feel like once you really owned that power that you have and stepped into that, and you create a bit of a strategy for where you're going to go, which I feel like, I see some of you writing, I see some of you writing down intentions, I see some of you writing goals and things that you want for this healing practice, whatever this might be, or this healing, this sort of therapy that you're creating or designing. And the more that you are able to be really intentional about it and follow that strategy that you create for yourself, the more successful you're going to be. There's a lot of, like, it's interesting, there's a lot of sort of greeny, which is heart chakra, orange, which is sacral chakra energy, and then on this side of the spread, it's very gold, which is solar plexus. Having that confidence, you can see with Oshun here, she's got that really fiery, confident energy. It's very sun energy. It's very almost like Leo energy. So it's like owning that power and then having that confidence to come out in the world and be like, yeah, I am a healer, you know. And it might be that some of you have been quite shy of this, because I feel like if you look at the images in these two cards, it's almost like this one is a little bit like hesitant. You can see she's sort of looking out like, is this any good? I've got this bowl of food that people, maybe they might want it, or I've got this like this healing remedy that I've created, but I'm not really sure if people will like it. And then there's Bridget here like, go out into the world, like you are a healer, like look. And she's just like really fiery and stepping out there with her cauldron that's just flaming. She's just really confident and really strong. And I feel like she's sort of saying like, you know, come out of the woods, like come out of the shadows, like be bold, step forth, like you've got what it takes, you can do this, you can help heal people, and we have a need for healers right now. And there's just a need to like own that power, own that sovereignty. You know, what did we say about with the Morrigan at the beginning? Like, you know, really creating that, stepping into that sovereignty for yourself, rebirthing yourself as having that, like, the ability to like direct your life the way you want to. And it's like maybe in the past, like it did talk about with I think in the Bridget message, it said like in the past you might have been persecuted for being a healer or something like that, or you've got this fear of ridicule or judgment or something. And it's like sovereignty is like freeing yourself from that fear and saying, you know, I've got to do this. This is in my soul. This is what I've got to create this. I've got to put this out there. People might say whatever they say. Let them say that. Like this is who I really am at my core, at my soul. And then setting those intentions, and you will receive success. Like it's very fated for you, I feel like, pile 3. I'm going to leave the oracle portion of your reading there and have a look at the tarot. I've already shuffled these, so let's just get straight in and get some last messages. Whoa. Oh, awakening. Yeah, you're going through an awakening at the moment, but it's an awakening to your power as a healer. I feel like if you're drawn to this channel, and chances are if you're watching this reading and you're still here, you've already had a sort of spiritual awakening, so to speak. And awakenings are like, they're not one thing. They're not a one-time, one-size-fits-all experience, as I'm sure you know. They're cyclical, and they happen, you know, in that sort of, especially for the feminine. And again, this is not saying for females. This is that the feminine energy within us, the divine feminine within us. It works in a cyclical way, you know. So it's not about like just ascending to heaven and like boom, you're done, you're ascended, you're a master. It's a constant cyclical process of awakening, and a deeper awakening, and a deeper and deeper awakening. You know, it's like this sort of I don't know if you can see, there's like circles. It's like a almost like a labyrinth, or like it's just like a cycle, like that goes round and round. And so I feel like you're very much going through that type of awakening, not just a sort of general initial connection with your soul. I feel like you've already kind of had that sort of quote unquote like Kundalini awakening, or sort of soul awakening. This is a very feminine awakening. This is a very divine feminine power healer awakening, specifically for many of you. And again, look at the goldy flowers all around her. It's the same colors that we've got in these two cards. A lot of gold behind her. We have some more messages for pile 3. Whoa. Wow, 5 of Cups. Yeah, a lot of goldy flowers in this one. I mean, 5 of Cups normally is like walking away from. Well, it's not so much walking away from. It's like in the traditional right away, it shows. Excuse me, 1 second. Sorry, pile 3. I just had a bit of a cough there. So in the traditional right away, the 5 of Cups shows a figure. A lonely figure standing looking at 3 cups that have spilled, and feeling very sad and morose about the liquid that's all drained out of those cups, in the sense that something that he's emotionally invested in has fallen away and he's lost it and he's very upset about that. But actually the message behind it is that if he turned around, he would see that there's 2 full cups behind him. So there's a need to trust that there's actually Spirit is offering 2 cups here. So for some of you, this might be kind of an awakening because you might have been going down a certain path and investing in a certain career path maybe, or even a certain aspect of being a healer, perhaps a more traditional aspect of being a healer in a certain setting. And it's not really worked out, like you've not been emotionally fulfilled as you thought you would be or something, and something's gone wrong, or maybe you lost your job or something along those lines. So there's a message from Bridget to sort of pivot yourself a little bit. If you just turn around, you'll see that there's actually 2 cups waiting for you that are completely full. So you can see in this picture, it's a little bit more poetically, but it's a little bit more artistic, I guess, than in the traditional Rider-Waite, in the sense that like it's got these 3 cups that are pointing downwards, so they're the ones that have sort of spilled out. But actually, if you look in the flowers, in these yellow flowers, there's 2 that are upright, and look at the sort of the streaming light that is coming down, like as if from the cosmos, from the heavens, from whatever you want to call it, is coming down into these cups, and it's like these 2 cups are available to you. For some of you where you resonated with the Mary Magdalene side of things and the sacred marriage, and that's something you're wanting to very much manifest on the outside, and there was the whole message around finding that inner twin flame first, and that inner light, and that inner balance between your sacred masculine and sacred feminine. This could be saying, letting go of a relationship. There was something that didn't work, because there's a 2 of cups. There's a soulmate, someone who is going to give you that reciprocal connection. If you resonate with a twin flame journey, it could be a twin flame, it could be a soulmate. They're just labels. Don't get too hung up on that. It's just, the point is it's a divine counterpart, But I very much feel like pile 3, this is less to do with a romantic thing, and it's more to do with you and your power, and finding your sovereignty, and finding your independence, and stepping into your power as a healer. So it's more about actually finding a path, I feel like, that gives you that emotional fulfillment as a healer. And if you are looking for a relationship, then once you are on your healing path, and once you find that power and step into that, that's when your soulmate will come along. Let's just see if there's any. Whoa. Oof. What have we got? Death card. Yeah, so death and rebirth. And we got the Morrigan, who is a goddess of death as well. Death and rebirth. And we're in Scorpio season, which is also a season of death and rebirth. So that's really appropriate. So you're going through, like I said, for those of you perhaps who, there's 3 of cups that have spilt out. There's something that's ending. There's some cycle that needs to end and be closed out. In fact, I think, did that, when I was reading the card 21, I feel like that talked about something along those lines. Well, I guess it's, something in your past that was like a misfortune, which is that 3 of cups spilling, something that allowed you to develop like self-respect and personal sovereignty. So certainly some of you might have gone through quite a difficult, possibly even abusive situation in the past in some way. It could have been emotionally abusive, it could have been sexually abusive. But that situation allowed you to develop this self-respect and self-sovereignty, so that you wouldn't sort of you would know what to demand in a relationship in future, or even if it is in relation to a job or a career or path or something. It's like you got burned in the past from something, but it gave you the ability to create that self-sovereignty. And that's what this sort of death process is like letting go of that old self that wasn't aligned in that way. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. So I feel like this is sort of saying you're almost at the end of that cycle. Like you've been through a battle. I feel like Nine of Wands is like you've been scarred, you've been traumatized, you've been hurt, you've been wounded in this battle, but you're still standing. It's like you're still there. You've still got one wand. You're still holding one wand, and that's the only one you need, and that's the wand that you can use to heal yourself. It's like you can come out successful. You can come out of this whole battle or this whole scenario, this Three of Cups, this situation that didn't work, that you had to release, this thing that allowed you to grow, to sort of like leave this old self behind and grow your self-respect, your self-sovereignty, your power as a healer. That's going to be the thing that's going to allow you to go into a new cycle. I'm hearing one more. Let's just see. Was it the end? Was it the bottom? Yeah, bottom of the deck. There we go. We've got Spirit of Wands, which is, this is like the King of Wands. So yeah, this is, you're having this like feminine awakening cycle. So you can heal that Three of Cups, whether that was a heartbreak or something painful in the past, some kind of trauma, which is going to allow you to go through this death and rebirth yourself as this powerful healer. You've gone through a fight, you've gone through toxicity, you've gone through trauma, you've gone through pain with the Nine of Wands, you've been really hurt, but you're going to come out victorious. You're going to come out successful. You're going to come out this King of Wands. Like, we've got the lion in the background, which is that confident energy. You're going to have your confidence restored. You're going to have that self-sovereignty restored, that self-respect, that power, personal power. It's just having the power to like direct your own life and your own, go in the direction that you're meant to go in. There's a flower, kind of like a flower on the ground that looks like flames here, which is very much like, it's reminding me of the flames on the end of Bridget's hair. You can see it's like there's this flame around her hair there, and there's the same flower here. So it's like you're going to embody this Bridget energy. You're going to step into this power as a healer and become this King of Wands. And it's interesting that for your pile, I chose the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, and in this tarot deck there are no kings. There's only it goes like I can't remember now what the page and stuff is called, but there's a queen and in each of the suits, and then instead of the king, it's called Spirit of Wands. So it's like you're tapping into that kind of King of Wands energy, but it's not in the masculine. It's in this sort of it's like a very feminine way. I feel like this is kind of Bridget. It's like you're stepping into your power as Bridget. She's got the same orange hair as well. The same, like fiery ginger hair. So, but this is you. This is you. This is your energy. It's not like this is some esoteric like concept. Like this is some ethereal goddess that you could never be. Like, no, this tarot. This is your journey. This is you. You know, the suit cards are people in your life, and this is you. This is you stepping into this Spirit of Wands energy, like this feminine power with your wand, and you're able to go fighting. It's like, don't be defeated by whatever it was, whether this was like some kind of relationship that you lost or a job that you lost or something that was quite painful. You're definitely going through healing. You are powerful enough to heal this yourself, go through this death cycle. I'm also fascinated by the fact that, because I love when the cards cross over, it just makes my day. She's got this skull on her head, and the same skull is on her dress here. And it's almost like you're gonna wear the death thing, the thing that caused you death. It's like you're gonna heal it and become so strong that it's like a totem of power that you wear on your head, like as a badge of like a badge of honor, like a badge of power kind of thing. It's really cool. It's like you're going to develop this, whatever all that pain was that you went through. It's like you're going to develop so much strength and sovereignty and self-respect and personal power from going through that and healing it yourself, that you're going to be like wearing it, like, yeah, look what I went through, like, but I alchemized it. You know, that is really the message of this card, is like the alchemy. It's that it's very much a sort of feminine energy of like alchemizing wounds in that sort of cauldron kind of thing. So yeah, woo, that was an intense reading. My goodness, pile 3, you guys are powerful. I can feel the power like emanating off the cards. I hope you can as well. I hope you can, because this is your power. So I hope you can feel your power within. You can like access this. There's just a little bit of a like awakening to that power yourself, I feel like, and a bit of a death and release of the old, or letting go of, you know, whatever those old pains were, that old, you know, those cups that it just were not fulfilling in whatever scenario that was in. But otherwise you are going to step into this. And yeah, I would love to hear if this resonates for you and how this might be playing out in your life, because it's an extremely interesting reading, extremely interesting energies, very intense. But I feel like you guys are very on the precipice, or you may already be in this process of this sort of death and rebirth of becoming a healer and stepping into your power as a healer. So kudos to you, because this is some powerful stuff that you're working with right now, pile 3. So all my blessings to you for this journey, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you today. Please leave a comment below if it resonated. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to be notified of another reading. I am taking private readings at the moment. You can click on the link tree in my channel description box and you can book private readings there. Otherwise, if I'm leaving you here, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next reading. Oh, my love. Bye-bye.